Hello, and welcome to Explore Within Coaching. I'm Oceana. Today, I want to talk about why you should yourself. This is something I heard, I must have been in my very early 20s. You should yourself. And I didn't get it. I mean, should was a word that I used all the time and didn't see the harm in it. And then as I started investigating the word should, I realized that should actually indicated blame or was a word that would disempower me. It was reinforcing my limiting beliefs. Should often preceded a task that I didn't want to do, that it was a task that I didn't feel like I had a choice, but like more like an expectation to have done. That task usually had emotional baggage or entanglements attached with it. Because again, I was feeling guilty or feeling blamed into doing such task. Like I should clean my house. Well, what's the harm in not cleaning my house? There is none. Well, okay, there could be some harm, especially if I never clean my house, but I'm a pretty good housekeeper and I keep my house pretty clean. And yet I had an expectation that I should clean my house on a daily basis and make sure that if somebody should happen to drop by, that my house was perfect. Now, I have no expectation that another's house is perfect. So why did I put that expectation on myself? Well, it was a limiting belief that was ingrained into me since childhood that other people's judgment of my housekeeping was going to be how they judged me. And I had to decide whether or not that was actually acceptable to me. I wrote some notes here, which is what I keep referring to. So I just want to check them real quick. I want to encourage you to track how many times you should on yourself. Just go through the day and keep a little bit of a tally in your mind each time you say, I should do, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. And understand that some of those tasks that you should do probably need to be done. But what is the emotion that is behind that should? What is the desire behind the should? Do you actually want to do the task? Or is there, what's the word I want to use? A subconscious force to do the task. And I'm going to come back to the cleaning my house. It wasn't that I needed to clean my house. It was that I should clean my house. And I didn't understand that the driving force was actually my parents' voice, and in turn their parents' voice, that the house had to be perfect. I remember going to my grandmother's house as a small child, and the good furniture was covered in plastic. And you could only sit on the good furniture if you were an adult. Because what happens if guests come over? Well, I didn't live with my grandparents. I was a guest. And yet we weren't allowed because they had had their generation of being taught that the house had to be perfect in case somebody dropped by. So again, just investigate. Like, do you actually want to do the task, or is this somebody else's expectation and not that of your own? And then how do you feel about the task? Dig a little bit deeper. What is your emotional attachment to this? Are you feeling resentful? If you're feeling resentful, then it's not something that you're wanting to do. It's an expectation from someone else. Now, I'm not asking you to change the world. Just be conscious of the fact that we often do tasks based on other people's expectations and not that of our own. So it's important to have some words because I should finish that sentence. There I go again with the should. I need to finish that sentence. How's that? We need to have words to replace the phrase I should. Because there are things that are going to come up that are actually things that we need to do or things that we want to do. I've already given you two of the words. I need and I want. I need to clean my house. Now why? Because it makes me feel better to have a clean house. I want to clean my house. I get an enjoyment out of vacuuming and looking around after it's all done and going, wow, this is my home. It feels so good to be here. And then my favorite is I could clean my house. This gives me the choice. This empowers me to make a choice for myself. I could clean my house, but do I want to? Yes or no? And then I'm empowered to make that choice. So the next time you find yourself shoulding on yourself, remember, you can turn that disempowerment into an empowered thought simply by choosing to change the words. I could do this. I need to do this. I want to do this. That's it for me today. Take care of one another. Be good to one another and love yourself a little more each day.